Yes, you read that right. Today I'm going to be talking about the lies that you tell yourself just to make yourself feel that little bit better, even when they're dragging us down. Now, I want to clarify before I continue talking. Today is going to be purely based on my own experiences, not anyone else's. And obviously, there'll be a chance that, hey, you may disagree with what I'm saying. Completely fair. Even comment down below if you disagree with what I'm saying. Because, again, this whole thing about these episodes is that I want to learn from other people's experiences. I also want to share my own experiences so you guys can get some insight. And hey, maybe if you're dealing with the same things, you'll be able to reflect and maybe make better judgments. So if you're ready to face the truth, let's get right into this. So, the first lie that I told myself was that I'm big boned. Now, listen, I've been overweight for honestly as long as I can remember. Being overweight is part of my identity. It's part of how I move through the world. People knew me as Eustace, the big guy. And when I started to get self-conscious about it, and I remember I used to talk to some people at school when I was in high school, and I used to be like, hey, I feel overweight. Like, I feel like I really should change something. Do you know what I always used to hear? You're fine just the way you are. You're just big boned. And let's be real. Was it really my bones? When I was huffing and puffing just by going up one flight of stairs, when my knees would ache just by standing still, was that really just my bone structure? Because if my bones were big, shouldn't it be able to be take more load? Shouldn't it be easier? Why would my knees hurt just from standing still? It was clearly that my body was screaming for help, and I ignored it. And I ignored it by telling myself that one lie: I'm big boned. Now, the sad part about that is I held on onto that lie for years. I held on to that lie until I was 18. And when I was 18, I finally made the change. And that change was Eustace Lifts, Eustace Daily, whichever account name I'm using. Now, through creating that Instagram and TikTok account, I was able to change my life within seconds. Why? Because I took that one step from being able to look at that lie of, hey, I'm just big boned, to seeing the truth of, hey, I'm actually overweight. You're going to face health issues in the future if you don't change something. So I decided to change something. I decided to take that step towards the truth and look away from that lie. And now, on to the second lie. You guys might have experienced this lie, especially when you've played a sport for as long as you've had a hobby and all of a sudden you've quit that hobby. Now, I don't know about you, but I've played football since I was born. And I recently quit football it's not recently, but around 4 or 5 years ago. And the reason why I quit football was it wasn't fun anymore. And I said it was too serious. Now, it sounds like a pretty harmless lie, right? But let me tell you what was actually going on behind the scenes. What the truth was to the reason why I quit football. And I still tell people this lie about why I quit football to this day. The truth is, I quit football because I developed sports anxiety. Now, when I played football, I was the goalkeeper. As some people know, it's the last line of defense. It's literally between someone scoring, before a striker can score, they have to put that ball into the net, and you're the only thing that stands in between that. And I got to the point where even when the ball was in the opposition's half, even when maybe even their keeper had the ball, I would think, oh my God, they're going to get the ball. Oh, it's going to be a 1-2. Oh, look, it's going to be striker one-on-one. I'm going to lose. Like, and my whole body would genuinely start to shake. And my mind, my heart, it would just race through all the possibilities. And none of those possibilities ended with me saving the goal. But the truth was, I was actually saving these goals. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I believe I was a pretty good goalkeeper. But I just couldn't overcome that hurdle. Why? Because I kept on telling myself, football just isn't fun. I don't enjoy it. But the truth was, I wasn't meant to be a goalkeeper. The way my mental health was at that time, I wasn't fit to be a goalkeeper. And recently, I've begun to crave that football, that feeling of playing around with friends, that little bit of pressure. It felt so good. And recently, one of my mates actually asked me, hey, we're actually running low on a keeper for one of our teams. Would you like to join? I said, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, put me in. I'm so ready to play. And then, legit, not even like an hour after I met with that mate, I went home and boom, the anxiety kicked in. And I was like, what? Like, I should be having fun. Like, I should be excited for the football. Like, Remember, I quit because it wasn't fun, but now I'm going to be playing with my friends. But then I realized, hey, they like it a bit more seriously. If you're a goalkeeper, you're that last line of defense again. And honestly, I couldn't hack it anymore. So I told that person, like, hey, I generally don't think I can do it anymore. And they were fine with it. And now I play social football, not as a goalkeeper, but as a defender. And I enjoy that way better. So I want to tell you guys, if you're telling yourself a lie about a hobby or a sport that, hey, I just don't like it anymore, try a different position. Because I know for me, that's what helped. Or even instead of playing competitively, try socially. It will make that hobby or sport so much better. Now, on to the last lie that I think, honestly, a few of you guys would have been telling yourself, especially if you're a student. I know for a fact you're telling yourself this. I don't study because I get good grades anyway. Now, I used to tell myself that lie so many times because the truth was I didn't have to study and I'd still get good grades. But the actual truth, the honest truth about why I didn't study, I was scared on putting in all that effort, all those hours, doing all those times, spending problem solving worksheets, doing homework, and just to fall short in the test or exam. Now, to tell you the honest truth, I was scared. So I built this armor of casualness. And basically I just told myself, hey, I don't need to study. I'm built like that. I'm different. Like, I don't need to study. I can literally just go in the test and ace it. But the truth was, I was putting in a few hours to get those grades. But that's because I knew, hey, I can get the merit without having to study. But to get that excellence, to get that good grade, I got to put in some hours. And truth be told, every time I properly studied for an exam, I was scared. I would go into the exam. I'd tell all my friends, like, yeah, I didn't study at all. Honestly, I studied for hours and hours and hours. And I was scared because if I didn't get that excellence, that meant all my studying was down the drain. But guess what? That mindset of saying, hey, I don't need to study because if I put in hours and then I fail, it doesn't work out. It's a trap. Because do you know what it does to you? It limits your growth. Now I'm in uni and I'm struggling because I don't know how to study because I didn't take that chance in high school to learn how to study. So my advice to you guys is if you're in high school and you feel like, hey, I don't need to study, just study. It's okay if you fall short because what will happen is the more you study, the better you get at it. It's the way life goes. The more you do something, the better you'll get at it. And you'll notice that, hey, maybe in the beginning you did fall short. But slowly you'll notice, hey, the amount of hours you're spending to studying is equivalent to the grade you get. So, as you can see, we lie to ourselves to protect our egos. We dress up our pain with prettier words. We say we're big boned instead of saying we're unhealthy, obese. We say that we're bored instead of anxious. But here's the truth. Lies don't protect you. They hurt you. They hold you back. They keep you stuck. And some other examples of lies that we tell people is, or tell ourselves, is that I'm not good enough. It's not the right time. I'm fine. I don't even care that much. But deep down, you know it's real. You feel it in your gut. You know that you're lying to yourself and to your peers. So, what now? What do we do now? Well, I want you guys to do a little activity. Step 1, after this podcast, sit down with yourself, no distractions, no sugarcoating. And when I mean no sugarcoating, I mean no sugarcoating. Listen, it's just going to be you and yourself. No one else is going to be listening, okay? Ask yourself, what lies are you telling yourself? Step 2, name the truth. Whatever lie you're telling yourself, what is the truth to it? What is the actual reason you're making this lie? Even if it hurts. And even better, if it hurts, you have to name that truth. Because if you're telling a lie and it's still hurting yourself, you have to find the truth to be able to heal and go forward. Step 3, take one step. Now, just one. And when I mean take one step, I'm not telling you that one step means you get all the way to Mount Everest. There is no way that is happening. Take one step. If it's you're overweight and you call yourself big bone, the lie is that you're big bone, but the truth is you're overweight. That one step, drink more water. Cut your food intake. You know what I mean? Instead of using full fat mayonnaise, use light mayonnaise. Little stuff like that. Make those tiny steps. I'm not telling you to go to the gym for 5 hours, but it's a tiny step that you'll take that will slowly build into a whole staircase because of all the steps you've taken, okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing I want to tell you guys. You don't have to be perfect. Just be honest with yourself and you'll see the improvements. All right. And now just for a few questions that I'm going to answer that you guys might be thinking. Now, Is it okay to comfort yourself with small lies? Yes, I still comfort myself with some small lies. And it's not you would want to do it all the time, sometimes. But you don't want to lie to yourself when it's stopping your growth. For example, I used to comfort myself by saying, hey, I can't run. Truth was, I could run. I was just scared to take that first step. Take that first step and look at how far I'm growing with the running, okay? So, yeah. And then for another question, what if facing the truth makes you feel worse? It might. But it also sets you free, and you also never know how much better you could feel. Don't be afraid to take an action because you're scared of what the outcome could be. Listen, there's always two sides of a coin, okay? You could take one action and it could lead very bad, but also it could lead beautifully, okay? And if it goes bad, hey, you've learned, okay? You've learned, hey, I took this step, this is what happened. What happens if I take another step? What would be the outcome from that, okay? If something goes bad, don't think of it as, oh, I can never try again. No. Think of it as, hey, look, this went wrong. Okay, this is the mistake I've learned. Now I'm going to use it as a lesson. And when I take my next step, I know, hey, be careful of what I did here because otherwise I'll go down again. And another question that'll be, how do I know if it's a lie? And now that is a very tough question to answer because it's something that took me time to be able to know. And the truth is, it just feels off. You feel embarrassed when you tell other people. And the same with the truth, but it also kind of hurts when you tell that lie. Because, for example, when I used to tell my friends, hey, I don't like playing football anymore, I used to feel embarrassed. I used to feel pain. And I used to feel just off. Like there was a feeling in my heart that was telling me, hey, just say the truth, okay? And the last question that I have for you guys is, can people change after years of lying to themselves? Absolutely. Look at me, bro. I was overweight for 18 years and only recently I've decided to lose weight and I've changed significantly in that time I've tried to lose weight. Don't be afraid. Again, just always take that first step. You would rather take that first step and be afraid of change and actually be like, you know what, I'm going to take that change. Then stay in that same cycle that you've always been in, okay? Think about it. If you're an alcoholic, it's so much harder to take that first step of going sober. But would you rather stay in that same loop of being an alcoholic, drinking, hurting the people you know, slowly losing the people you know, drinking again, repeat and recycle? Or would you rather take that one step, slowly go into withdrawals, fiend for that alcohol, but you've got that mental strength that, hey, I can do this, okay? So